If you are in your 40s or 50s and you have spent over a decade in a demanding career, you might have hit a point where you think, I can't keep doing this for another 10 or 15 years. The details are different, but the feeling is the same. On paper, your life works. Good income, solid career, people who depend on you. You are not just having the bad day, though. You are seriously questioning what your next chapter should be and how to change things without blowing up the life you have built. If you recognize yourself in this episode is for you. Welcome to Personal Development Mastery Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Agi Keramidas, a coach and former dentist. Today's episode is a special one because I am opening a new chapter for this podcast, and this chapter is shaped around you and the transition that you are navigating. Keep listening and I will explain what this means, what is changing, what is not changing, and how this new focus might serve you. You might have noticed a small but important addition to the podcast title, Personal Development Mastery, Clarity for Midlife Professionals in Transition. So for this next season, I am focusing on career transitions, career and life transitions for midlife professionals, because also that's the transition I went through as a dentist, and it is now at the heart of my coaching work. To explain the shift and this new season, I need to start with my own story. So for over 20 years, I was a dentist. That was my career, my professional identity, and my day-to-day reality for decades. It was a stable, respectable profession, and it became a central part of who I was, or at least who I thought I was. On paper, everything looked good. I had the career, the recognition, the nice car. People around me probably would have said that I made it. But inside, something else was happening. There was a growing sense of discontent and an inner pull towards something different. The work I was doing was no longer fulfilling. And for a long time, I tried to manage that tension by pushing it aside, telling myself that I should be grateful because many people would love to have what I had. But the friction between success on the outside and what I really felt inside, it kept on getting stronger or louder. It became a long period of uncertainty and pressure, full of questions, questions without easy answers, questions like, what will people think if I step away from what I've been doing for 20 years? What will that mean for my income? What will it mean for my identity? Am I finally being true to myself or am I being irresponsible? These kinds of questions and the time that everything took, and clarifying that it was not an overnight leap. It was a long stretch of questioning, experimenting, doubting, and slowly making more committed decisions. Today I'm on the other side of this big transition. I no longer practice dentistry. I mentor and coach midlife professionals who are questioning the careers that once defined them, just like I did. So, when I talk about midlife transition, it's not an abstract concept for me. It's very much my lived experience. So if you are in your 40s or 50s and you feel you have outgrown the professional life you have built for decades, I know firsthand how uncomfortable and disorienting this can be. The loss of certainty, the mixed feelings of guilt and relief, and the fear of what happens if you actually follow that inner voice are all very familiar to me. I have walked through that space myself, and now it is the space that I spend my time helping others. And so for this season, the podcast reflects that. This is not a marketing rebranding strategy. This is an honest alignment with where I am, with what I have lived, and where I can be most useful to you. Let me be clear then about who this season is for. You are in your midlife, probably in your 40s or 50s, and you have invested a big part of your life, 10, 15, even 20 years, in one main career that's become a big part of your identity. Maybe you are a doctor, a dentist, a pharmacist, an engineer, a lawyer, or in another demanding professional field. You might be a business owner or in a senior corporate role where people look to you as the reliable one. On the outside, your life works, but internally, you are considering something significant. Perhaps it's pivoting, perhaps it's something, starting something new. Either way, you are stepping away from a profession that has defined you for a long time. And the experience inside is not simple. You may feel torn between your responsibilities to your family, your finances, your clients or patients, and a real desire for something that feels more aligned with who you are now. And you may find yourself getting stuck or circling in indecision and overthinking and going through the same questions without moving forward. And that's true and that's understandable because you are not just changing jobs. It's those deeper questions that you're asking about who you are and how you want to live the second half of your life or the next big chapter of your life. You want practical solutions, but also care about meaning and about living in a way that feels true and is intentional. If you recognize yourself in any of this season of the podcast is designed with you in mind. The format of the podcast will remain as it was, so every Monday a conversation with a guest and every Thursday a shorter episode, either a wisdom snippet or my own personal reflection on midlife transitions. And I will also share my own stories and the tools that I use with my clients. The aim is simple: to help you as a midlife professional move from years of indecision into a clear direction, and from silent pressure into confident next steps in your next chapter. Now, with all this talk about change, I also want to be very, very clear about what isn't changing. Personal development mastery is not disappearing. The heart of the podcast remains exactly the same: inner growth, self mastery, creating a meaningful and aligned life. Think of it as a season within the same show. The overarching theme is still personal development mastery. The lens for this period is midlife transition, particularly for those of you in long-term identity defining careers. And if you are listening and you are not in a big transition right now, I still want you to know that you are welcome here. You might feel a quieter pull that something needs to shift, even if you can't name it at the moment. Or you might even know someone who is right in the middle of a transition, and these conversations will help you understand and support them better. Either way, my intention is that this season serves you with clarity, courage, and real next steps wherever you are in your transition journey. If you have been listening and thinking, this is me, this is where I am, I want to speak to you directly for a moment. If you are in the middle of this transition, I work one-to-one with a small number of listeners, and together we get clear what you actually want after this chapter. We design a grounded plan that fits your reality and focus on helping you take confident steps forward instead of getting or staying stuck in your head, circling in the same doubts and indecisions. If that's the kind of support you would like to have, you can book a free clarity call with me at personaldevelopmentmasterypodcast.com/mentor. You will find the link in the episode description. And if someone in your life is in a midlife transition, a friend, a partner, a colleague, please share this episode with them. It may give them language and support they don't currently have, and help them feel a bit less alone in what they're going through. As we close, I would like to leave you with this. I am dedicating this season of personal development mastery to midlife professionals, especially those in identity defining careers who are ready for the next chapter, even if they don't know yet what that chapter looks like. My intention is that you feel less alone, clearer, and more empowered to act. So, welcome to this new chapter of Personal Development Mastery Podcast, Clarity for Midlife Professionals in Transition. Until next time, stand out, don't fit in,